Welcome to Mishna study Masachet Bikkurim Perek Bet Mishnah Bet. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to discuss the similarities of Maaser and Bikkurim versus Teruma. Right? So again, similar to last Mishnah. Last Mishnah we spoke about Teruma and Bikkurim, but we're going to speak about Maaser and Bikkurim. So what are the similarities to Maaser and Bikkurim? Yesh Maaser u'Bikkurim ma she'en ken b'Teruma. She'Maaser v'Bikkurim te'unim havat makom. When it comes to Maaser and Bikkurim, you both need to bring them up to the Bet HaMikdash. You have to bring them up to Har HaBayit. Right? We know these from the Pesukim, right? Maaser, we know, right? Maaser Sheni, we know you have to bring up, right? Over there, the Sheken Shemosha, Maaser Diganecha, right? And then you also have Bikurim, right? So both these Pesukim, you have to take it up to the Makom, the place where Makom Asher Yibhar, the place where God would choose, which ends up being Har HaBayit. Now, the Mishnah continues. Utonim vidui. Both of these, you need to make vidui on it, right? As opposed to maaser sheni, as opposed to teruma, right? Which teruma you wouldn't have to make vidui on. Now the only problem is, before we get to the problem, how do we know they both need a vidui, right? Because the pasuk speaks about the vidui, the arami oved avi that you say by bikurim, and by maaser sheni, the third and the sixth year, you have to say bi'arti hakodesh min habayit. Now the only problem is, remember in Masechet Maaser Sheni, we mentioned that we learned from the pasuk Vegam Netativ, right? And I also gave it. We learned, oh, this is talking about Teruma and Terumat Maaser. So we see over here that Teruma itself also needs vidui. So how are we saying that vidui only applies to Maaser and Bikurim, but it does not apply to Teruma when you have a Mishnah explicitly in Masechet Maaser Sheni that mentions that it also needs vidui? So here Harambam questions this, and he says that Yerushalmi answers, how so? That, yeah, you're right, all three of them need vidui. But there's something unique to Maaser and Bikurim, and that is if you only had Maaser, right, or if you only had Bikurim, then you're allowed to say the vidui. Right, which is not the case if you only had Teruma. If you only had Teruma, you're not going to say vidui. But if you're saying with other things, you're going to add the Teruma to the vidui. Right, so that's how we explain it. Now, Basurim la onen, an onen, right, the first day when a person is obligated to take care of one of the 7 relatives that passed away, that first day is considered an onen. Now, onen, we say he's not allowed to eat maaser. Right? This is from the pasuk, right? Lo achalti be'oni mimenu. I didn't eat from it when I was in onen. So from maaser sheni. Okay. Now, what about bikurim? How do we know bikurim? You're not allowed to eat it as in onen. So we learn it from the pasuk. V'samachta b'chol hatov. You should rejoice in all the good that God has given you. The person's in onen, he's not rejoicing, right? But Rabbi Shimon matir. Rabbi Shimon says it's allowed. Why? Because it's not explicit in the pasukim. Right? That's what he says. V'hayavim babiur. Right? Also, you're obligated to get rid of it, right? The 3rd and the 6th year, you have to get rid of, right? You know, to Teruma, you don't have to get rid of the 3rd and the 6th year. It goes to the Kohen can keep it. Now, but all these, you have to get rid of. Bikurim and Maaser Sheni, you have to get rid of in the 3rd and the 6th year. How do we know so? Because Bikurim, how do we know? Well, Maaser Sheni we know, right? That's what the Pesukim are talking about. And Bikurim is close. It's juxtaposed to the parasha of Vidui. Right? So when we say bi'arti hakodesh min habayit, right, it's talking about also the bikurim. Rabbi Shimon poter. Rabbi Shimon argues and he says, no, you can give it to the Kohen. You don't have to get rid of it. Right? Bikurim, you give it to the Kohen. You don't have to get rid of it. V'asurim kol shehem mile'echol b'Yerushalayim. Right? You're not allowed to eat. Right? It's asur any amount to eat in Yerushalayim. So what does this mean? So you need a quick introduction over here, and that is, in general, when you have a mixture of something that gets mixed up. So we said, oh, it could be batil 1 in 100 if it's teruma, 1 in 200 if it's, talking about kila kerem or la, right? We spoke of all these different things, but each one is different, right? No tentam if it gives flavor, right? So we spoke at all these different laws. All of these is specific when that item could never become mutar in another fashion, right? It's like, okay, it got mixed in. I have no other choice, but okay, it'll be batil in this amount, 1 in 100, 1 in 200, and so on and so forth. But let's say there's another way to make this mutar, right? This is called davar sheyesh lo matirim, right? I'll give you an example. If you have an egg that was laid on Yom Tov, right? Betzah shenoda b'Yom Tov. Okay, it's muktzeh, it's nolad. You're not allowed to eat that betzah on that day. Okay, fine. Let's say that egg got mixed in with another 1,000 eggs, and you don't know which one it is. Are you going to say, oh, it's 1 in 1,000, it's batel? So technically you thought maybe you could say that. No, but this egg is davar sheyesh lo matirin. There's another way where it will become allowed with time. Just wait till tomorrow, and that egg will be allowed, right? Because it's limited, right? It's only asur because of the time. Once Yom Tov is over, it's not going to be muktzeh anymore. It'll be allowed. So we're going to say on Yom Tov, we're not going to allow it and say it's batil. Afilu be'elef la batil. Even 1 in 1,000, it's not going to be allowed. Now, let's say you have these bikurim, right, or maaser sheni that you brought up to Yerushalayim, and you're in Yerushalayim, and it got mixed in with something else. So we're going to say, oh, 1 in 100. It should be all there, 1 in 100, just like Teruma. No, we don't say so. Why? Because you're in Yerushalayim, you could eat it. You could eat it in Yerushalayim. So we're going to say it's not batel. Because you're in Yerushalayim at the moment, and afilu be'elef la batil, even 1 in 1,000. If you have this one pomegranate that got mixed in with another 1,000 pomegranates, one pomegranate bikurim got mixed in with another 1,000 in Yerushalayim, we're going to say, you can't take it outside of Yerushalayim and go ahead and say, oh, it got mixed in 1,000, it's batel. No, you have to eat all 1,000 of them in Yerushalayim because it's so easy, right? And we treat it as a davar sheyesh lo matirim. Right, so that's how we explain this part of the Mishnah. V'gidulehem asurim milechol b'Yerushalayim. Right, and what grows from them, right? Meaning over here, what grows from this mixture, right? That's how I explained it. And it's a kilomar over here. Rambam says kilomar that grows from this mixture. Right? You could have thought it's the actual bikurim itself. No, what grows from this mixture itself. If you took it and replanted it, and something grew from it, oh, this new growth. We're going to say, oh, it's a new entity. No, we're going to say it's asur also. We're going to treat it as if it is bikurim, as if it is maaser sheni, and you also have to eat that in Yerushalayim. Af lezarim, af lebehema. Meaning what? Even though you could think, oh, it's asur to zarim. Only a kohen could eat it, right? When it comes to bikurim, only a kohen could eat. So it's asur to a regular Israel. So maybe it's something that's she'en lo matirim. There's no way of allowing it for these. No, even so, it's going to be asur to a kohen to go ahead and it's asur to kohen. Also, even as a zar, even Israel is not allowed to say that it's batel. After the behema, even if it's talking about over here the maaser sheni. You say, oh, maybe we'll allow it. Let's allow it if it got mixed in, right, with other chulin to allow you to feed it to your animal. No. So also over here we're going to say that it's not batel, and you're also not allowed to feed it to the animal. Rabbi Shimon matir. Rabbi Shimon also allows over here. Now, what is it talking about over here? So over here, the Yerushalmi explains that it's only going back in the last part of the Mishnah, the gidulehem. If you replanted it, in that case, Rabbi Shimon is going to allow the new growth to say, okay, that's not considered like the original mixture. That's something new that grew, and therefore that could be that could be allowed to be given to your animal. You could, Israel could eat it. That would be allowed. Halacha, not like Rabbi Shimon in anything that we mentioned in Mishnah, rather like Tanakama, for the reasoning that we said that Chamim made this takana, that they made this mixture, right, in of bikurim or maaser sheni in Yerushalayim, like something with the ketava sheyesh lo matirim, right? You treated it as something that can be, right, that can be mutar, and therefore, right, because it's so easy, it's achila, you can eat it right away, and right now, right, we treat Yerushalayim, right, asu Yerushalayim ketava sheyesh lo matirim. Right, we treat Yerushalayim as davar that has matirim, as the Yerushalmi says, "Kemad temar davar sheyesh lo matirim oser kol shehu utchavata b'Yerushalayim oseret kol shehu." Right, and that's how we explain this Mishnah. And as we mentioned, halacha is not like Rabbi Shimon in anything that we mentioned. Harei elu b'maaser u'b'bikurim ma she'en ken b'teruma.